Hi, I'm Ola, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your Evertune equipped Solar guitar and tune it to factory setup. If you haven't seen the video regarding explanations of the 3 different zones of the Evertune bridge, I recommend going back to watch that video just to get an understanding of how the different zones work. Now, your Solar guitars comes equipped with standard tension spring modules. These modules will handle a certain range of tunings and tensions. You can use Evertune's own string tension calculator on their website. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. And upon receiving your guitar should have a basic setup ready for the factory installed gauges and tuning. It depends on the guitar. Some guitars, they come in standard E. Some of them, like the Artist BOP, comes in standard D, for instance. If you want to change the gauges and tuning, please check out our other video named How to Change Tunings and Gauges. First thing we need to do is to make sure that all the saddles on the Evertune bridge are set to zone 2. Bring the strings up to tension using the headstock tuners. We're in zone 2 because you can see the saddle is moving forward. Nothing happens with the pitch. That means we're in zone 2. This string was in zone 1. It had slack. Now it's in zone 2. As you bring the strings to tension, you will notice that there's a point where pitch doesn't really change, even if you keep on turning the headstock tuning pegs. This is zone 2. Your strings should be already more or less in tune in this zone if this is your first setup of your guitar. You will also know that you're in zone 2 because you will see the saddle moves back and forth as you pull the string right here. And also if you bend the string and play, nothing happens with the pitch, it's just the saddle moving. In zone 2 and only in zone 2 is where you will make any kind of tuning adjustments at the Evertune saddle. So that's why it's important to make sure you're in zone 2 before attempting to even tune the string. Once you're in zone 2, then you can do the final tuning using the Evertune key at the saddle tuner. Remember that we're just setting the tension using the headstock tuning pegs, but we're actually tuning the guitar at the bridge saddles. Also, a little warning, no matter what you do, never ever force or tighten the tuning screws at the saddles. If you do this, you may wear them out and then the module will have to be replaced. So if you ever come to a stop while tuning at the saddle, don't over tighten because you might damage the module. Now, after you made sure all your strings are in zone 2 and you've tuned the strings at the bridge with the Evertune key, you want to set it up so you can bend the strings. As you can see, when we're in zone 2 and when I bend the strings, the saddle move with the extra tension. But we want to set it up just before we hit zone 3, so when we bend, we get a pitch shift like on any other guitar bridge. To find the spot, you need to keep on turning the headstock tuning peg until the string goes up in pitch again. At that point, you should stop. That's the saddle heading into zone 3 right there. So what we need to do is just to back off the tuning peg right to the point where the pitch went up. That means that we're back in zone 2, but we can bend up to zone 3. Then you will be able to bend just like you would on any guitar. And then you do the same process for each and every string. You should now have set up the guitar to its factory setup. So a small little recap, only tune the guitar when the saddle is in zone 2, and also never over tighten the tuning screws. If you want to change the tuning and string gauge, we have another video explaining that. You can find the link to that video in the description of this video. Also make sure to catch all of our Evertune related videos by clicking the same playlist. Thank you so much for watching.